The stars shone bright against the dark void of space. The massive white ship with red markings slowly moved between them. In big letters on its side was the name, HMSS Mercy. Captain Jum Kim sat in his command chair. He was tired but didn't show it. His black uniform was neat, and his face calm. 20 years in the human space medical service had taught him to always look in control. "Status report," he said. Officer Daly turned from his screen. "All systems normal, Captain. We are on the edge of human space. The Vorax border is 5,000 kilometers ahead." Captain Kim nodded. The Vorax. Tall aliens with tough gray skin and 4 arms. They were not friends, but not enemies either. Both sides kept their distance and peace had lasted for 12 years. "Keep us at safe distance from their border," Captain Kim ordered. "Yes, sir," said Officer Lee. Captain Kim stood up. "I'll be in the medical bay." The medical bay was the heart of the ship. It was huge, taking up 5 of the ship's 12 levels. Most medical ships had 3 levels of medical space. The Mercy had 5 because it was the newest and best in the fleet. Dr. Hannah Park was checking supplies when Captain Kim entered. She was short with short black hair and quick hands. Everyone said she was the best doctor in the fleet. "Captain," she said with a smile, "come to check on us." "Just making my rounds," he said. "How are the new supplies?" "Everything we asked for," she said. "New blood machines, tissue printers, and medicine. We could treat an entire fleet with what we have." "Let's hope we don't need to," Captain Kim said. Dr. Park nodded. "Have you seen the new staff? 6 new doctors and 12 nurses, all top of their class." "Are they ready?" asked Captain Kim. "For routine patrol?" "More than ready," said Dr. Park. "This is the best medical team I've ever worked with." The ship's speaker system came to life. "Captain Kim to the bridge. Captain Kim to the bridge." Captain Kim frowned. "Duty calls." When he returned to the bridge, Officer Lee looked worried. "Sir, I picked up a signal. It's weak but clear." "From where?" asked Captain Kim. "From Vorax space, sir, deep in their territory." Captain Kim's face turned serious. "Play it." A scratchy voice came through the speakers. It wasn't human. The words were broken and hard to understand. "This is Dominant Claw. Need help. Crew dying. Unknown sickness. Please. Anyone." The bridge went quiet. Everyone looked at Captain Kim. "Sir," said Commander Suk Yoon, the second in command. "That's a Vorax ship. They're asking for help." "I know," said Captain Kim. "Sir, protocol says we cannot enter Vorax space without permission," said Commander Yoon. "We should call Human Command first." Captain Kim looked at the screen showing the border. Beyond it was Vorax space. Entering without permission could cause a diplomatic problem. It could even start a war if the Vorax thought they were invading. "How far is the signal?" he asked. Officer Lee checked his screen. "About 6 hours at top speed, sir." Captain Kim thought for a moment. "Send a message to Human Command. Tell them we received a distress call and are responding." "Sir." Commander Yoon looked surprised. "By the time they tell us not to go, we'll already be there," said Captain Kim. "Set course for the signal location. Maximum speed." "Yes, sir," said Officer Lee. Captain Kim pressed a button on his chair. "Dr. Park, prepare the medical bay. We have patients coming." "Human patients?" asked Dr. Park. "No," said Captain Kim. "Vorax." The Mercy turned and accelerated. Its engines glowed bright blue as it crossed the border into Vorax space. Captain Kim watched the stars streak by on the screen. "Hold on," he whispered to the distant Vorax ship. "Mercy is coming." 6 hours passed slowly on the Mercy. Captain Kim did not leave the bridge. He watched as his ship moved deeper into Vorax space. Every crew member knew they were breaking rules. Nobody complained. 2 minutes to target," said Officer Lee. Captain Kim nodded. "Slow to half speed. Scan for the Vorax ship." The big screen at the front of the bridge changed. It showed a large ship floating in space. It was dark gray with sharp points. Red lights blinked weakly along its side. "That's a Dominant-class warship," said Commander Yoon. "One of their best ships." "Life signs?" asked Captain Kim. Officer Lee checked his screen. "Many life forms, sir, but some readings are very weak." "Any weapons active?" "No, sir. Their power systems are failing." Captain Kim stood up. "Commander Yoon, prepare a first contact team. Dr. Park, get your medical team ready." Dr. Park's voice came through the speaker. "We're ready, Captain. 6 doctors, 12 nurses, and all emergency equipment." "Good," said Captain Kim. "Commander Yoon, you will lead the first team. Be careful. These are wounded warriors, not friends." Commander Yoon nodded. She was tall and strong. Her black hair was tied back tightly. "I understand, sir." The Mercy moved closer to the Vorax ship. It was 3 times bigger than the human vessel. Its dark hull had many marks and burns. "They're hailing us," said Officer Lee. "Put them on screen," ordered Captain Kim. The screen showed a Vorax. He had gray skin with small scales. 4 arms crossed over his chest. His yellow eyes looked tired but angry. "I am Krav, commander of the Dominant Claw," he said in rough human language. "Why are you in our space, human?" Captain Kim stood straight. "I am Captain Jun Kim of the human medical ship Mercy. We received your distress call and came to help." Krav's yellow eyes narrowed. "We did not call for humans." "You called for anyone," said Captain Kim calmly. "We were closest. We can help your sick crew." "Vorax do not need human help," said Krav. But as he spoke, he coughed hard. His gray skin looked pale. Captain Kim's voice stayed even. "Commander Krav, my ship is the best medical vessel in human space. My doctors can treat your crew. Let us help." Krav seemed ready to refuse again. Then another Vorax appeared behind him. This one could barely stand. Blood came from his mouth as he spoke in the Vorax language. Krav's face changed. For a moment, his pride fell away. Fear showed in his eyes. "Very well," he said finally. "You may send 1 team. But know this, human. If this is a trick, the Vorax Empire will destroy your worlds." The screen went dark. "Friendly fellow," said Commander Yoon. Captain Kim almost smiled. "Your team has permission to board. Be respectful, but do not let them stop you from helping." Commander Yoon left with her team. Dr. Park joined them with her medical staff. They wore white uniforms with the red Mercy symbol. Captain Kim watched from the bridge as the small shuttle left the Mercy and flew to the much larger Vorax ship. "Sir," said Officer Lee, "Human Command is calling. They don't sound happy." "I bet they don't," said Captain Kim. "Tell them I'm busy saving lives. I'll call back later." The shuttle docked with the Vorax ship. Commander Yoon's voice came through the radio. "We're in, Captain. It's bad in here. Many Vorax are very sick." "What are you seeing?" asked Captain Kim. "They can't breathe well. Many are coughing blood. Dr. Park is checking them now." Dr. Park's voice joined in. "Captain, this illness is aggressive. It attacks their breathing system. I've never seen anything like it." "Can you help them?" asked Captain Kim. There was a pause. "Yes," said Dr. Park firmly, "but we'll need more teams. Many more." Captain Kim looked at the huge Vorax ship on his screen, then at the stars beyond, deep in Vorax space. "Send all available medical teams," he ordered. "The Mercy lives up to its name today." Dr. Hannah Park had never worked on Vorax before. Their bodies were different from humans. They had 2 hearts, 4 lungs, and blood that was thick and dark blue. She stood in the Vorax ship's medical bay, looking at screens filled with data. "What do you see, Doctor?" asked Commander Yoon. "Their lungs are filling with fluid," said Dr. Park. "Whatever this is, it attacks their breathing system first. Then it spreads to other organs." Tai Choi, the Mercy's chief engineer, was checking the Vorax ship's systems. He was a short man with quick hands and a sharp mind. "Their life support is failing," he said. "Air filters are at 20%. Power is low." Commander Krav watched the humans from the corner. He was still proud, but worry showed in his yellow eyes. "How many sick?" asked Dr. Park. 112, said Krav. 30 are already dead. Dr. Park nodded. She did not show her shock. "We need to move the most sick to our ship. Our medical bay is better." "Vorax do not leave their posts," said Krav. Dr. Park looked at him directly. "They will die at their posts then." Krav seemed ready to argue, but instead he coughed hard. Blood spotted his gray hand when he pulled it away from his mouth. "You're sick too," said Dr. Park. "You need treatment." "I am fine," growled Krav. Dr. Park smiled a little. "Humans or Vorax, all warriors are the same. Stubborn." Back on the Mercy, Captain Kim received new information from his team. "Captain," said Dr. Park through the radio, "this is not a natural disease. It's too perfect, too targeted at Vorax biology." "You think it was made on purpose?" asked Captain Kim. "Yes, someone designed this to kill Vorax." Captain Kim frowned. "Commander Krav, where was your ship before the crew got sick?" Krav's voice was rough. "We explored a new planet at the edge of our territory. When we left, the crew started to get sick." "Were other ships with you?" "3 others. We lost contact with them days ago." Captain Kim thought for a moment. "They might be sick too. We need to find them." "Sir," said Officer Lee, "Human Command has sent 3 messages. They order us to return to human space immediately." Captain Kim ignored this. "Scan for other Vorax ships in this area. Maximum range." Officer Lee worked his controls. "Sir, I'm picking up a weak signal." "Another Vorax ship, about 5 hours from here." "Set course," ordered Captain Kim. On the Vorax ship, Dr. Park was setting up treatment areas. Ta Choi had fixed some of the life support systems. The sickest Vorax had been moved to the Mercy. Krav watched as human nurses helped Vorax soldiers. "Why do you help us? We are not allies." Dr. Park checked a medical screen. "When humans started space travel, we made a promise. Any ship that calls for medical help gets it. It doesn't matter who they are. Even enemies. Especially enemies." Krav didn't understand. "That makes no sense." Dr. Park smiled. "That's why we call these ships Mercy. Mercy isn't for those who deserve it. It's for those who need it." Back on the bridge, Captain Kim watched as his ship moved deeper into Vorax space. The crew was quiet. They knew they were breaking more rules with every kilometer. "Sir," said Officer Lee suddenly, "I'm getting a signal from Vorax High Command. They know we're here." Captain Kim nodded. He had expected this. "What do they say?" "They demand we leave Vorax space immediately," said Officer Lee. "They are sending warships." "Tell Dr. Park to work faster," said Captain Kim, "and keep our course to the second Vorax ship." "Sir," said Commander Yoon from the Vorax ship, "what if their warships attack us?" Captain Kim looked at the stars ahead. "Then they attack a medical ship that came to save their people. Let's see if they have that much honor." 5 hours later, the Mercy reached the second Vorax ship. It was bigger than the Dominant Claw, a carrier-class vessel called the Iron Will. Unlike the first ship, this one did not respond to calls. "No power readings," said Officer Lee, "but I detect life signs. Very weak ones." Captain Kim stood from his chair. "Prepare boarding teams. Full protection suits for everyone." Dr. Park's voice came through the radio. "Captain, we need to be careful. This disease spreads quickly. We should set up quarantine protocols." "Do it," ordered Captain Kim. "No one comes back to the Mercy without being checked first." The boarding teams left in small shuttles. When they entered the Iron Will, they found a terrible scene. Vorax bodies lay everywhere. The few still alive could barely move. "It's worse here," said Dr. Park through her suit radio. Much worse. They've been sick longer. Back on the Mercy, Jin Bake was studying the disease. He was the ship's lead scientist, a quiet man who worked day and night. He looked at screen after screen of test results. "Captain," he called, "I found something strange. This disease was made by someone." Captain Kim frowned. Dr. Park already thought that. "No, I mean it's very old," said Jin. "The disease structure has markers from ancient technology. This is a weapon from thousands of years ago." "From who?" asked Captain Kim. "Not Vorax. Not human either," said Jin. "Something else. Something that wanted the Vorax dead long ago." On the Iron Will, Dr. Park and her team worked to save the few living Vorax. They set up a clean area and brought in medical equipment from the Mercy. "How did it get so bad here?" asked Commander Yoon. "They had no warning," said Dr. Park. "By the time they knew they were sick, it was too late for most of them." A message came from the Mercy. "Doctor, Vorax ships are approaching," said Captain Kim. "They'll be here in 2 hours." "We need more time," said Dr. Park. "These patients can't be moved yet." "Do what you can," said Captain Kim. "We'll deal with the Vorax ships when they arrive." On the Dominant Claw, Commander Krav was feeling better. The human medicine was working. He sat up in the medical bed and looked at the human nurse, checking his vital signs. "Your ship is in danger," he said. "My people will not understand why you are here." The nurse smiled. "We're just doing our job." Krav's communicator beeped. He answered it. A harsh Vorax voice spoke in their language. Krav's face turned dark. He looked at the nurse. "The Vorax High Command orders me to take control of your ship when I am able. They think you caused this disease." The nurse looked surprised. "But we're helping you." "They do not understand human ways," said Krav. He stood up slowly. "Take me to your captain." On the Mercy, Captain Kim met with Krav on the bridge. The Vorax commander was still weak, but could stand. "My orders are to seize your ship," said Krav. "And will you?" asked Captain Kim calmly. Krav looked around the bridge. He saw the screens showing human medical teams saving Vorax lives. He saw the course set for the third missing Vorax ship. "No," he said finally. "I will not. You came when we called. You help when no one else would. I will not betray that." Captain Kim nodded. "Thank you. But others are coming who will not see as I do," warned Krav. 5 warships. They will fire first and ask questions later. Officer Lee's console beeped. "Captain, I'm picking up a new signal. It's the third Vorax ship. They're still alive, but barely." Captain Kim looked at the star map. The third ship was 1 hour away. The Vorax warships were 2 hours away. "We have time to reach them before the warships arrive," he said. "It is a trap," said Krav. "The warships will catch you there." Captain Kim smiled slightly. "Then they catch us saving lives." He turned to Officer Lee. "Set course for the third ship. Maximum speed." "Yes, sir," said Officer Lee. Krav watched the humans work. He did not understand them. But for the first time, he wanted to. The Mercy reached the third Vorax ship, the Swift Strike, in less than an hour. This ship was smaller than the others, a scout vessel with a crew of 50. "Life signs?" asked Captain Kim. "Only 12 still alive," said Officer Lee sadly. Captain Kim turned to Krav. "Your people are dying. We need to work faster to save them." Krav nodded. "I will go with your teams. My people might trust me more than humans." Dr. Park and her medical teams boarded the Swift Strike quickly. They found the surviving Vorax in bad shape. All were close to death. "We need to move them to the Mercy right away," said Dr. Park. "They won't survive otherwise." As the teams worked, a nurse suddenly fell to her knees. She started coughing hard. Dr. Park rushed to her side. "What's wrong?" "I don't feel well," said the nurse. Her face was pale. Dr. Park checked her quickly. "You have a fever. When did this start?" "Just now," said the nurse. She looked scared. Doctor, could I have caught the Vorax disease? Dr. Park helped her stand. Let's get you back to the ship. We need to check everyone. Back on the Mercy, Jin Bake worked in his lab. He tested samples from the sick nurse. Captain, he called, we have a problem. The disease has changed. It can now infect humans. Captain Kim's face turned grim. How many of our crew are sick? 3 so far, said Jin. But it's spreading. In the medical bay, Dr. Park checked the sick crew members. As she worked, she felt hot and dizzy. She grabbed a table to steady herself. A nurse looked at her with concern. Doctor, are you okay? Dr. Park shook her head. I think I'm infected too. Within hours, more of the Mercy's crew fell ill. The disease moved faster in humans than in Vorax. Dr. Park fought her own sickness to help others. Captain Kim visited the medical bay. He saw his crew suffering alongside the Vorax patients. How bad is it? He asked. Dr. Park looked tired. Sweat covered her face. Very bad. The disease attacks human lungs just like Vorax lungs. We're working on a treatment, but we need time. The Vorax warships will be here in 30 minutes, said Captain Kim. Dr. Park nodded weakly. I heard. Jin thinks he's close to something. He found that human blood has something that slows the disease. What does he need? More blood samples from healthy humans, said Dr. Park. But I can't ask the crew to risk exposure. Captain Kim rolled up his sleeve. Start with me. Captain, you can't risk. That's an order, Doctor, said Captain Kim firmly. While Dr. Park took his blood, Captain Kim watched his sick crew. They still worked hard despite their illness. Nurses helped doctors who could barely stand. Engineers fixed equipment with shaking hands. You've trained them well, he said. They're the best, said Dr. Park proudly. Jin Bake rushed into the medical bay. He looked excited despite being sick himself. I found something, he said. Human antibodies slow the disease. If we can make enough of them into medicine, we might be able to stop it. How long will that take? Asked Captain Kim. Hours, maybe a day, said Jin. Officer Lee's voice came through the ship's speakers. Captain, to the bridge. Vorax warships are approaching fast. Captain Kim stood. Keep working. I'll buy you time. On the bridge, the screen showed 5 large Vorax warships surrounding the Mercy and the 3 sick Vorax vessels. They're charging weapons, said Officer Lee. Krav stood next to Captain Kim. Let me talk to them. I will tell them what you've done for us. Will they listen? Asked Captain Kim. I don't know, admitted Krav. But they should know that humans are sacrificing themselves to save Vorax lives. The largest Vorax ship hailed the Mercy. On the screen appeared an older Vorax with many scars. His yellow eyes were cold. I am Admiral Vex of the Vorax fleet, he said. Surrender your ship immediately or be destroyed. Captain Kim stood tall as he faced Admiral Vex on the screen. The Vorax Admiral's yellow eyes burned with anger. This is Captain Jun Kim of the human medical ship Mercy, he said calmly. We are here on a rescue mission. We answered a distress call from your ships. Lies, growled Admiral Vex. Humans do not help Vorax. You brought this disease to our ships. Krav stepped forward. Admiral, I am Commander Krav of the Dominant Claw. The humans speak truth. They came when we called for help. They risked their own lives to save ours. Admiral Vex's eyes narrowed. You defend these humans, Krav. Have they controlled your mind? They have not, said Krav. They have only shown me that courage comes in many forms, not just in battle. The Admiral growled. I have my orders. All ships in this area must be destroyed to stop the disease from spreading. Captain Kim's face showed no fear. If you destroy us, you lose any chance to save your people. My medical teams are working on a cure right now. More human lies, said Admiral Vex. Officer Lee turned to Captain Kim. Sir, what should we do? Captain Kim thought for a moment. Then he had an idea. Ensign Lee, Broadcast all our medical data to every ship in range. Send everything. Our research, our findings, our treatment plans. Send it all. Sir, Lee looked confused. If they destroy us, at least our work might save others, said Captain Kim. Lee nodded and began sending the data. The medical information streamed out from the Mercy to all ships in range, including the Vorax warships. Meanwhile, Commander Yoon prepared the ship's defenses. They weren't much. Medical ships had only basic shields. We can't fight 5 warships, she told Captain Kim quietly. We're not going to fight, said Captain Kim. We're going to keep healing until they stop us. Engineer Ta Choi came to the bridge. Captain, I set up emergency transport systems. If the Vorax attack, we can move most patients to the center of the ship where it's safest. Good work, said Captain Kim. The screen changed. Admiral Vex looked confused. What is this data you are sending? Everything we know about the disease, said Captain Kim. Everything we've learned about how to fight it. Take it. Use it. Even if you destroy us, it might help your people. The Admiral was silent for a long moment. Why would you give us this? He finally asked. Before Captain Kim could answer, Dr. Park appeared on the bridge. She was very weak. Her face was pale, and she could barely stand. But her eyes were determined. Admiral Vex, she said, her voice rough. I am Dr. Hannah Park, Chief Medical Officer of the Mercy. I am also infected with the same disease killing your people. The Admiral's eyes widened. We did not bring this disease, continued Dr. Park, but we will die from it alongside your people if you don't let us finish our work. She stepped closer to the screen. This disease was created long ago, by neither humans nor Vorax. It was made to kill your ancestors. Now it has changed and can kill humans too. We are all in danger together. Dr. Park coughed hard, but kept standing. In my medical training, we took an oath. First, do no harm. Even now, as I stand here sick because I treated your people, I do not regret coming to help. That is what mercy means to humans. The bridge was silent. Even Admiral Vex seemed at a loss for words. Then another voice spoke. It was Jin Bake, calling from the lab. Captain, we've had a breakthrough. The combination of human antibodies and Vorax tissue is showing a response. We might have found the key to a cure. Captain Kim looked back at Admiral Vex. You have a choice, Admiral. Let us continue our work and maybe save both our peoples, or destroy us and lose your only chance at a cure. Admiral Vex's face showed conflict. You would still help us, even now. Yes, said Captain Kim simply. That's why we're called Mercy. Admiral Vex was silent for a long time. The bridge of the Mercy was quiet as everyone waited for his decision. Finally, the Vorax Admiral spoke. You have 6 hours. If you have not shown progress by then, we will destroy all ships in this area. The screen went dark. Captain Kim turned to his crew. 6 hours. Let's use them well. In the lab, Jin Bake worked without rest. His hand shook from the disease, but his mind was clear. The screens around him showed test after test. The key is here, he said to Dr. Park. Human blood has something that fights the disease, but we need more of it to make a cure. Dr. Park, still weak but fighting, looked at the data. How much blood do we need? A lot, said Jin. More than we can safely take from the healthy crew members. Captain Kim entered the lab. What do you need to make this work? Jin showed him the test results. We need a special protein from human blood. If I had enough, I could make a treatment that might work for both humans and Vorax. How many donors would you need? Asked Captain Kim. Jin looked worried. At least 30, maybe more. And they would need to give more blood than is normally safe. Will it save lives? Asked Captain Kim. Yes, said Jin. 6 months passed since the events in Vorax space. The Mercy had returned to Earth for repairs and upgrades. Its mission had changed history. Captain Jum Kim stood in a large meeting hall on the neutral space station Unity. Around him were both human and Vorax officials. They were signing new agreements between their peoples. "Captain Kim," said a human admiral, "your actions have opened a new chapter in human-Vorax relations." Captain Kim nodded politely. "My crew deserves the credit, sir. They risked everything to save lives." Across the room, Dr. Hannah Park was talking with a group of Vorax. She had fully recovered from the disease. On her uniform was both a human medal and the Vorax medal Admiral Vex had given her. "The new medical training program is going well," she was saying. 15 Vorax have already completed basic medical training. One of the Vorax was Krav, no longer a ship commander. He now wore the white uniform of a medical officer. "It is very different from military training," said Krav, "but I find I prefer healing to fighting." Jin Baek was there too, showing his research to a mixed group of human and Vorax scientists. "We've identified 3 more planets with possible Krell weapons," he explained. "Joint teams are studying them safely." Engineer Ta Choi and Commander Suk Yoon stood near a large model ship. It showed a new design, bigger than the Mercy but with similar markings. "The first joint medical vessel," said Ta proudly. "Half human technology, half Vorax. The best of both." "What will it be called?" asked a Vorax engineer. "Unity," said Commander Yoon. "It will be ready next month." Outside the meeting hall's large windows, the Mercy floated in space. It looked small next to the massive Vorax ships nearby, but everyone looked at it with respect. Admiral Vex approached Captain Kim. The tall Vorax leader bowed slightly, a human gesture he had learned. "The Vorax High Command has approved 10 more joint medical ships," he said, "all based on your Mercy design." "That's good news," said Captain Kim. "There is more," said Admiral Vex. "We are renaming our own medical ships. No longer will they be called healers in our language." "What will you call them?" asked Captain Kim. "Mercy," said Admiral Vex. "We are keeping your word. It carries more meaning." Captain Kim smiled. "It's an honor." Suddenly, alarms sounded throughout the station. A voice spoke over the speakers. "Attention all medical personnel. Emergency situation on Outpost 7. Multiple injuries. All available medical ships please respond." Captain Kim and Admiral Vex looked at each other. Without words, they both moved toward the exit. Dr. Park, Krav, and the others followed quickly. "The Mercy can be ready in 10 minutes, said Captain Kim as they walked. "My ship can transport extra medical teams," said Admiral Vex. They reached the docking area together. Other humans and Vorax were already preparing ships. As Captain Kim boarded the Mercy, he saw Krav following Dr. Park. "You're coming with us?" he asked the former Vorax commander. "I have medical training now," said Krav. "I go where I am needed." The Mercy launched first, leading a mixed fleet of human and Vorax ships. On the bridge, Captain Kim watched as his crew worked alongside Vorax officers. Once enemies, now partners in saving lives. Officer Dadley looked up from his station. "Captain, the distress call is from a new species we haven't met before. They don't know us." "They will soon," said Captain Kim. On another ship, a young Vorax officer asked Admiral Vex a question. "Admiral, these new aliens don't know humans or Vorax. They might fear us. What should we tell them about our mission?" Admiral Vex looked out at the Mercy flying ahead of them. He remembered his own first meeting with the human ship, his suspicion and anger, and how everything changed. "Tell them to look at the name on our ships," said Admiral Vex. "Tell them we are called Mercy, not for the mercy we receive, but for the mercy we give to all who need it." As the fleet jumped to light speed, the stars stretched into lines of light. The Mercy led the way, carrying its name and its purpose to new worlds. The legacy of a simple human value that had changed the stars.